Benson family, go to your cabin. We don't want you washed overboard. You sailor, get aft and assist the helmsman. We'll head into the storm and try to ride it out. Oh, pirates on one side chasing us, and a storm ahead waiting to tear us apart. What to do? And what of our passengers, the Swiss family, the Robinsons? What is to become of all of us?
We were sure in a fix. We were chased by pirates and blown into a storm. Together we huddled in our cabin. My father, my mother, and my 2 older brothers, Fritz, 19, and Ernst, 18. I'm Francis Robinson, and I was 8 years old. At the height of the storm, a terrible crash rocked the ship. We hit a reef. Then gradually the storm stopped. We were locked in our cabin. The waves continued to break in clouds of foam around the ship. We were wet, we were frightened, and we were alone.
Help us, somebody! Get us out of here!
What's the trouble? Why won't the door open?
Rigging failed and lodged against it. I can't get it open without prying.
What about using the bedpost as a wedge?
Good idea. Can't understand why the crew won't help us.
There's something on board. I can hear cows and dogs.
But where's the crew?
Here's a bedpost, Father. Try it as a lever.
Quick, Ernst, block it.
The door's open. We're free.
All right, Fritz, you lead the way.
Gee, look at the mast.
You were in a bad typhoon, Francis. Captain Wilhelm! Anybody? Hello there!
I guess if anyone was on board, they would have heard us long before this. I wonder, did they abandon ship or were they swept overboard?
Maybe the pirates captured them.
I can't believe they just go off and leave us.
You'll never know.
In any case, the ship is abandoned. They have no claim on it. It's ours. That's maritime law.
We're not too far from land. Not more than a quarter mile.
Then there's hope.
Maybe we can get to shore, get some planks or something, fix her up so she'll sail again.
At least I'm sure we can build a raft and float to the island. That's the most important thing right now.
Fritz and Ernst and my father lashed barrels together to make a raft.
Drop the raft over the side. We'll see if she'll float.
Fritz climbed on board the raft, then Ernst, then me, and then Father lifted Mother down to us.
Easy now. Take care.
Oh!
They didn't do too well with Mother. She got pretty wet. Father wouldn't let us take the captain's 2 dogs for fear of sinking the raft. They were Great Danes, and they were pretty big. Their names were Duke and Turk. After we pushed off the ship, they jumped in the ocean and swam after us. We floated past reefs and boulders sticking out of the water. Fritz and Ernst had to paddle fast to avoid them. The dogs swam behind us, but they began to get tired. I thought they were going to drown.
Do something. Don't let them drown.
Father made a glum face, but he let us take the dogs aboard.
You see, they didn't sink us.
We were halfway from the ship to the beach when we saw some fins cutting the water. Sharks! The killer fish circled around and around us, waiting for our raft to sink. Fritz and Ernst tried to drive them away with paddles.
Get away! Get away there!
Paddle faster. We must get to shore.
I can't paddle and swat sharks at the same time.
We must do something.
Look, a giant turtle just ahead of us.
Hey, if I could lasso the turtle, he could pull us in.
Here's the rope. You try it, Ernst.
Ready? Set? I got him!
Hooray! Ernst is the best cowboy I've ever seen.
We should get to shore quickly now.
Soon we were on the beach, and Mother asked us to kneel down and give thanks for our safety. Fritz and Ernst set up a tent, and Mother cooked dinner over an open fire. Darkness came, and we boys wrapped ourselves in wet blankets and curled up under the tent. Just before I went to sleep, I could hear Mother and Father talking.
Try to get some sleep, dear.
I'll be all right. We can't any of us go back and undo what's already done. But I just want you to know that, well, I'm sorry a lot of things didn't work out.
I know.
It would have been much better if we just stayed in Switzerland.
You can't be sure of it, not with Napoleon Bonaparte trying to grab up more and more. By now, Fritz and Ernst might both be in the war. Why, maybe even you.
Still, it might have been better to face things than to try to run away.
Is it running away to try to find a new life in a new colony? To try to give your sons a chance to live and be free?
It's a big land, New Guinea. For 100 years, there'll be new colonies. Even if we're a few months late getting there, it won't matter. And we're not too badly off. We're alive. We have our family together, food to eat.
Even a tent to keep off the rain if we have sense enough to use it.
The next day, Mother and I stayed on the island while Fritz and Ernst and Father went back to the ship. They planned to salvage anything they could. Ropes and rigging, hardware, food, and the cow and chickens and ducks trapped in the hold. While they were aboard the ship, Ernst had an idea.
I still think we could make her sail again.
If she sits like this at high tide, you'll never get off of the rocks in a million years. Now, let's get down to the hold and see about...
Look! A ship! A ship!
Ahoy there! Ship ahoy!
I think they see us.
Let me get the spyglass and make sure.
Yes, they do see us. They're turning.
Wait. Looks like the pirate ship that chases into the storm. Yes, it is. Better keep down, boys.
And I deliberately tried to get their attention. Let's get the ship's cannon. At least we can argue the point with them.
You know how to fire it?
I think so.
I'll get a keg of powder. Fritz, you see if you can find any kind of rags we can use for wadding. And hurry, the pirate ship's getting closer.
That was close.
Too close. Let's try and raise this cannon and get the range. We'll have time for only one shot, so we've got to make it count.
Their next shot will hit us.
Wait! Those rags Fritz brought. They're the ship's flags.
Father, we need help with the cannon. Where are you going?
I think this will be more effective than our cannon.
It better be. That shot hit the prow.
It's working! Look!
Yes, they're sailing away. They're turning tail and running. What did you do?
That orange flag with a black ball in the middle. That's a quarantine flag. That means that Black Death's on board, and it scared them off.
We're safe.
But not for long. They know where we are. They'll be back someday, and we mustn't forget it.
While my father and brothers were having a dull old time on the ship with the chickens and ducks, I was having an adventure of my own with elephants and tigers. It started when I went to explore the jungle near the beach. I was walking through the brush and came to a clearing. And in the clearing, guess what I saw? A baby elephant. Gee, you'd sure make a fine pet, little fella. Would you like to come live with us? We could be friends. What's the matter, little fella? Don't you know I wouldn't hurt you? Now, if I can just get this rope around your leg, we can be friends. Easy now. There! Now I'll lead you back to the beach, and... a tiger! You get out of here! Go on, get away! Get out of here! Duke, Turk! Come here, boy! Go get him! The two dogs leaped at the tiger. The big cat battled them with his paws, but the dogs darted in and out. The baby elephant was scared to death, but it couldn't move because I had it lassoed. The tiger tried to sink his big teeth into the dog's neck, but they wouldn't let him get close enough. Finally, the tiger turned tail and ran into the jungle as my mother came up from the beach.
Francis, oh, Francis, why did you leave the beach?
They sure showed that old tiger who's boss.
You could have been killed wandering off that way. Well, don't you have anything to say?
I'm sorry I did it, but
But what?
can I still keep the baby elephant anyhow?
Oh, Francis.
The baby elephant came in handy when we built the treehouse. Father decided we might be on the island quite a while, and we should have a safe place to live. So he built the most wonderful treehouse in the world, and the elephant helped carry wood. When it was finished and Father showed it to Mother, there were tears in her eyes. She was so proud of us.
Now, here on the bottom level is the kitchen. And please note the running water. Ernst designed the split bamboo pipes that carry the water from the stream to this large barrel. The extra water works as cooler, and additional water is drained to your adobe-type stove to keep us supplied with hot water.
It's just wonderful, Ernst. Just like home.
And see the sink? It's a shell of a big turtle.
Now, come to the living room. It's right up these steps.
Oh, well, it's more beautiful than I could have imagined.
We put in lots of shelves for books and utensils.
And the hanging pots of flowers were Fritz's idea.
And where does that rope ladder lead?
To our room. We took the bunks from the ships and built them right into the branches of the tree.
Everything's good and solid. And we designed Francis' bed so we can't fall out.
And look at the stairway. Well, where does it lead?
To our bedroom. All right, come with me. Now, we built you a stairway because we didn't think you could climb a rope ladder as easily as the boys. Well, here it is.
I can't believe it.
Sea chests under the bed to keep our clothes in. Drapes from the captain's cabin.
What's that rope by the bed?
Well, pull it and see.
Oh.
The whole ceiling lifts so the sunlight can fill the room. But if it rains, you lower the roof and keep snug and dry.
It was even more fun to live in the treehouse than it was to build it. I was always climbing up and down the ropes and ladders when nobody was looking, swinging on vines from my room to the ground. One morning I woke up and found a visitor just a few inches from my nose. It was a tiny monkey. I caught him and trained him, and he followed me everywhere. But I almost got into trouble one day when I saw a big bird near the house. I knew it was an ostrich, and it couldn't fly. But it wasn't until after I climbed on his back I found out how fast he could run.
Francis! Francis, you'll be killed!
Hey!
Let go, Francis! Fall off and you won't get hurt!
Let go before he runs into the jungle.
They didn't know I was too scared to let go. By the time I did, the ostrich was worn out, so he sat down. I'd heard of men riding wild horses to saddle break them, but I bet I was the first 8-year-old to saddle break an ostrich. One day, Ernst and Fritz started on a trip around the island. They were gone an awful long time. After a while, I got to thinking, maybe they weren't coming back. Their dugout canoe could have turned over, or they could have met up with the pirates again. And there were always the wild animals. When Christmas time came, Mother wrapped the packages and put them on the table. But my brothers weren't there to open them. In spite of this, Mother tried to make it a happy Christmas for me. Are we ever going to open up the other packages?
Those are for Fritz and Ernst.
I know, but suppose they don't come back. Suppose they got ate up.
That's enough, Francis. It's time you went to bed now. It's been a long day.
Good night, Francis. Merry Christmas.
Yes, son. Merry Christmas.
As I started up the rope ladder to my room, I heard some other voices. It was Fritz and Ernst. They'd come back. And they made it the best Christmas ever because they brought us a present. A girl. She was about the same age as they were. A real pretty one, too.
Oh, Fritz, Ernst, I thank God you're back safely.
Mother, this is Roberta.
Hello, Roberta.
How do you do?
We found her on the other side of the island.
How did it happen?
We found a cove where the pirates beached their boat.
That pirate leader is named Koala.
How do you know that?
He chased us, too. My grandfather owns a fleet of ships, and I was sailing with him to the Indies. Koala attacked us, took our ship, and was holding us for ransom.
If you escaped from the pirates, then they know you must be on the island somewhere. This means we must prepare for an attack. But we'll do that in the morning. Right now, let's celebrate a wonderful, wonderful Christmas.
I'm so glad you're home, boys. And thank you for bringing me such a beautiful Christmas present.
The next morning, Father held a conference. All of us were there. Fritz, Ernst, Roberta, Father, Mother, and me.
The first thing to do is to blow up the ship.
You mean with gunpowder?
We can't take chances of it serving as a beacon to the pirates.
What good will it do? They already know it's there.
With hundreds of islands, thousands of reefs, I'm hoping they won't remember exactly where it was. We must be ready to fight, but not too proud to hide.
We'll gather together all the muskets we can find.
There's no question. If the pirates come, we'll be outnumbered maybe 10 to 1. But if we prepare for the advance on that hill over there and dig
we
in...
could be something like medieval knights defending a castle.
Exactly.
That meadow leading up to the hill, it's open country and no place to fight from. That's our big weakness. That's where they'll try to come up.
We'll do our best with what we have. Now, down there, we'll put our pits, our snares, our entanglements. Maybe we'll plant some explosives with fuses we can touch off from the hill. And when the pirates come, by George, we'll give them a whale of a battle.
We started to work that very day. By late afternoon, my father and brothers had placed powder around the ship and lit the fuse. They boarded the raft and paddled rapidly away. There was a big explosion. Everything went in every direction. It was great. We made bombs by taking coconut shells and filling them with gunpowder and gravel. Then we sealed the shells together with wax. When we lit the fuses and threw the coconuts,
Pirates coming! Everybody to the fort! Pirates!
It wasn't really pirates. It was just me. Father was so relieved he forgot to be angry with me. That night, a big old tiger fell into one of my pits. We covered the pit with straw, and if a pirate comes close, he better look out, or that old tiger will eat him up. Well, we'd all worked pretty hard to build the fort and dig the pits and everything. So, Father decided we should have a celebration. It was like a holiday, just like we used to have in Switzerland.
Oh, wonderful.
All right, quiet, everybody, quiet! Now then, this is the feature race of the day. In first position, riding his baby elephant, is Francis. Next, astride the ostrich, is Ernst. Riding the rare striped zebra is Roberta. And on the outside, aboard the gray donkey, is Fritz.
Hey, don't forget the dog.
Huh? Oh, yes. And as a special contestant, riding our dog Turk and wearing a red hat is Francis Monkey. And serving as our official starter today, the loveliest lady of the canton.
Thank you, sir. Everybody ready? On your marks, get set, go!
And it's Ernest and his ostrich taking the lead with the elephant heading in the wrong direction.
Hurry, come on now. There's the monkey.
And the elephant is now running in the right direction, but the donkey seems to be lost in the woods. Oh, here it comes now with Fritz aboard. Hey, Fritz, you're facing the wrong way. Don't you know which direction is front? And the ostrich is rounding the first turn and heading for home.
No, you stupid bird. Around the second pylon over there.
The elephant is taking time out from the race to drink in the stream.
Don't drink now. Wait until the race is over.
The zebra is now in the lead. In fact, Roberta seems to be the only one in the race.
Roberta!
I claim foul. The elephant just sprayed me with water.
Serves you right for getting so close. Now the ostrich is now running under a severe handicap because his rider is soaking wet. And the zebra is only a few lengths ahead of Turk and the monkey.
Come on, Roberta!
Must you women always stick together? It's a driving finish, and here comes Fritz and the donkey out of the woods, and they're gaining on the zebra. It's a close finish. The judges will have to hold a consultation and decide on the winner. Roberta, you can stop your mouth now. I think you've won the race. Hey, Roberta!
Pirates! Come on, these men! Pirates!
She's right. Coming toward the beach and dugouts. The pirates.
All right, everybody up the hill.
I'll get the muskets.
Do you remember your orders?
Yes.
Yes.
Then get started!
We had no sooner taken our positions at the hilltop fort than the pirates landed and began running up the beach. As Koala and the pirates crossed the footbridge over the stream, Fritz gave a sudden tug on a concealed rope. The rope pulled out as support, and the bridge collapsed, dropping the pirates in the water.
Well, our first booby trap was successful.
Yes, but it won't hold them back very long.
Maybe this will.
Those arrows worked fine. I think it stopped a few of them.
Some of the pirates dropped out, but most of them came charging forward right toward my tiger pits.
There's tiger in there!
I think we're ready to set off the buried mines now. The idea is to time them so that the charge goes off just as the pirates reach the mines. Now let's see what happens. Perfectly timed. Now let's light numbers 2 and 4.
Yes, sir.
We'll teach those pirates a thing or two.
They don't give up very easily.
Lots of pirates were on the ground moaning with pain, but most of them kept coming up the hill with Koala in the lead.
Ernst, I think it's time for the log pile. Cut the rope.
Yes, Father.
Look at them go. The pirates don't know what to think.
The logs rumbled down the hill and smacked some of the pirates in the head, but most of the pirates ran down the hill and hid behind rocks. One of the logs tumbled into a tiger pit.
Tiger out! Run for
The tiger chased the pirates into the jungle, and for a moment, we had peace. Then Koala tied a white flag on the end of his sword and waved it.
Koala make talk. You hear?
We hear you.
You take boy belong Koala. Give back, boy. No more fight.
Don't let him take
hear?
Roberta.
Don't worry. You want the boy, you come and get him. We're ready for you, and you can put away your white flag.
Maybe it would be better
Don't
if I
say
would
it.
go down.
They wouldn't bargain with us if they thought they could beat us.
Send boy downhill. Koala take boy home. Get plenty money. Nobody hurt. You hear?
I think he's stalling. I see some of his men creeping up along the sides.
Yes, I see them.
You make Koala fight long time. He win. Then you die. And Koala take boy all the same.
It's true, though. You can't possibly stand them off forever.
Don't you worry about that.
You don't look like a boy anymore. Don't you know what would happen if you gave yourself up now?
Don't you know what might happen to all of you if I don't?
Nothing's gonna happen to anybody. They've probably had enough already.
My pirate alarm! They're coming up the cliff!
Fritz, get ready to defend the cliffside while your mother and I stay here. Let's let them have some coconut bombs.
The pirates kept coming. Some reached the fort, but Fritz kicked them off. We were firing our muskets now, and still the pirates get closer. One of them leaped at Father, but I sent the dogs to hell. More pirates swarmed into the fort. They were all over. Mother and Father were fighting them off. I couldn't see Fritz and Ernst.
They're firing at us.
No! It's somebody else firing on them.
Back to ships. Back to ships. Quick.
Before we knew what had happened, Koala and his pirates were running down the hill, crossing the beach and trying to get into their longboats. From around the point, a merchantman sailed, its guns booming and smoking.
It's one of my grandfather's ships. I knew he'd come back. I knew it.
Sure enough, the ship belonged to Roberta's grandfather. It sank the pirate ship. Koala and the other pirates were never heard from again. When Roberta's grandfather offered to take Mother and Father to New Guinea, they said no. They wanted to stay right on the island. Ernst chose to go to London and study, and Fritz and Roberta decided to remain on the island. Me? I got to stay on the island too. Can you think of a better place to live?